Hi, this is Keyzer, and you are listening to Spartan Youth Radio.
Hi, this is Aaron Feguson, live on location for Spartan Youth Radio. With me, I've got Mr. Keyzer, one of, if not the leading jazz guitarist in Canada. He's won 7 Maple Blues Awards, as well as 2 Junos, one for his most recent album, The Corktown Sessions. He's also won an International Songwriting Award, as well as many others. So thank you for joining us.
My pleasure, man. Nice to meet you.
Now, first, I'm going to ask you, probably the first question I'm thinking of, probably our audience is thinking of, how did you get into music?
I think it was always in my blood. You know, I grew up in England, and my earliest memories are always of being in love with the guitar. And there was a band in England when I grew up called Cliff Richard and the Shadows. And the Shadows, they were like a very heavy guitar band, they were kind of like the Ventures, the English version of the Ventures, and they played like a lot of instrumental guitar stuff, so that's when I first got interested in guitar. And then by the time I turned 10, the Beatles came out, and that kind of clinched the deal, and I was like really
Blues isn't the type of album that most teenagers have on their iPods and MP3 players right now. So what is it that makes blues so relevant in today's society?
Well, I think what happened is, when I grew up, blues was sort of like the root of all music pretty well. Any kind of popular music in North America had blues roots to it, whether it was like the soul music of the 60s or rhythm and blues, Aretha Franklin and people like that. And also like the pop music of the day. The Beatles were influenced by blues, the Rolling Stones, and a few years later, Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin. So I think around the 80s and 90s, that kind of really got diluted, and I don't think kids really grew up with much blues influence in the music they hear. But today, I really see a lot of kids getting back to Jimi Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and classic rock and stuff like that. Classic rock, most of it is totally influenced by the blues. So I'm seeing it go back again, and people are going, wow, we really like kids saying we really like Jimi Hendrix, we really like the Beatles, we really like this. And then going backwards and seeing where that came from. Where it came from is the blues.
Now, you haven't just played in Canada, you've played in places all over the world.
Yeah.
What's the blues scene like there?
Blues is an international language. You know, people understand it. I've played in Mexico, I've played in Greece, Portugal, all over Europe, and also, you know, the States, obviously. But, you know, the blues is really well known everywhere.
After, you know, traveling the world and playing with so many different groups and so many different people, you know, you must have acquired a lot of different memories, you know, things you really enjoyed. Would you mind sharing one of those times with us?
Well, I think I remember there was one time specifically, I was playing in Toronto, and I was playing a slow blues, and I was really concentrating, and I had my eyes closed, and the nightclub was packed, and we were playing a really intense part, and I had my eyes closed, and I felt like this kind of presence in front of me, and I was so much into it. I looked up, and there was a tiger's head that was like this big, this far away from me, and the woman holding it with a really big chain. You know, she was wearing like a leather kind of studded bikini sort of thing. I just went like, first I thought I was dreaming, and then I just looked at the band, and I'm like, bring it down. So quietly till the tiger, because she took it away. There was some circus that was in the area, and she was going around from club to club. I don't know why they even let her in, but
okay. Now, I was looking at your website, and it says that you do over 160 shows a year.
yeah.
How has that affected your life outside of music?
Oh, it's been great. You know, I mean, I've raised a family of 5 kids, and you know, it's been awesome.
Just a personal question, something, you know, I've been looking at. I've been watching you. You're often playing either your Epiphone or your Fender guitar.
Yeah.
Now, is there any story behind those? How did you come to play those?
Well, I think I started off mostly playing a Gibson guitar. I played so many different guitars. I've had Telecasters, Fenders, Stratocasters, Gibson 335. Just depends what style of music. If I'm playing something more jazzy, I'll use the Epiphone. I also have a big jazz guitar, a Gibson L4 that I use if I'm playing more mellow gigs. And for the more rock and blues shows like this, I use the Stratocaster. depends on the style.
Now we have a lot of people in our audience who are aspiring musicians, trying to get into different styles. What advice do you have for them?
I would say, learn as much as you can, practice as much as you can, and keep your mind open, playing as many different styles of music. And the way I survived was like by playing a lot of different styles, by singing, by writing, by learning how to work a recording studio, by producing bands. If you do all that, you can make a living in music, and even if you make just a little bit from each thing, when it all adds up, you make a pretty good living.
Now you've stayed in Canada over the years. You moved here and you stayed here.
Yeah.
Now, there's so much going on in the States for music, and Bob Dylan was quoted to say, if you were from Chicago or New York or LA, you'd be famous.
Right. Yeah.
What is it that? How come you stayed here?
By that point I had a family, and I didn't want to relocate my kids and my family. So I'm trying to.
So it's really about the family.
Yeah.
Not wanting to.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to add for our viewers?
Oh, it's been really nice speaking with you, Aaron.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's been very nice to be in Espanola.
This has been Aaron Feguson with Jack Keyzer here at the Espanola Legion. If you want more info on Jack Keyzer, you can check out his website, www.jackkeyzer.com, for upcoming show dates as well as his newest album, Corktown Blues. You can catch Spartan Youth Radio on YouTube or at www.spartanyouthradio.com.